friends, this is Rachel, Crafty Mama Bear. Today's video I will be sharing with you all of my completed pages for August 2025. For stats, I colored 45 pages in 21 different books. I have one WIP that I'm working on in my iPad, and I completed 0 double page spreads this month. I had 7 buddy colors. I colored in 6 of my untouched books. I still have 16 books that are untouched. I purchased 9 books this month. The total number of books in my collection now is 95, and the total number of pages that I've colored in 2025 is 265. Alrighty, so we're just gonna go from the smallest to the largest. First page is in this Disney Magical Moments book, and I colored this Lulu page. I used alcohol markers as a base, and then I went through and used crayons to add shading around the areas, and some of them are like glitter crayons, so it added a fun little effect. On the pictures back here, I tried to make them look like people because Lilo loves to take pictures of people in like weird angles, so I tried to make those look like bodies. But there's that page. Next up, I did a page in A Million Kawaii Cuties, and I completed this page, and this was also for the Lulu Mayo hashtag, and one of the prompts was bubbles. So this is what I did. I created a little bathroom scene. I used a stencil and some distress ink. I believe, yeah, all of this is colored pencil, and then I used languo gel pens to cover up all of the line work. I think they turned out super cute. Not tons of like shading and realism and all that stuff, but I still think it came out cute. So there's that page. I finished a page in Cozy Cottages, and I just wanted a easy peasy page where I didn't have to worry about too much. So I did the ice cream. I thought it was a very summery type page. Alcohol markers, and then I think I used crayons again where you see all the darker areas. Next up, I completed another page in my Amigurumi Critters book, and I completed the owl. And this was for the hashtag the wild year. It was an owl this month it was an owl, so I went ahead and colored this. I used alcohol markers on the majority of the image, and then I went through again with my languo pens in a similar color and covered up all of the line work on it. You'll see that that's a running theme this month. I've really been enjoying using my languo pens to go over the line work on my images. And then I use a stencil in the background and some more distress ink. I think this little owl turned out pretty cute. Okay. Next, I did a couple pages in this Stress Relief Colored by Line mandala pattern. I think I did a couple. Did this page, and I believe, yeah, this was alcohol marker. So it's really kind of cool how seamless they can look. This was with crayons and water-based markers. So just a fun, easy book after, or I've heard a lot of colorists call it a palette cleanser book. Next up is Asleep by R.G. Hampson. This was a page that I had a buddy color with Craft Time with Yaya, and we did this in July. She was having a rough time, and so she didn't get it completed until August, so I'm going to share with you my page and then put hers up here also. I used just colored pencils. I think I used some inks, and I tried like to use my blender, like my blending tool with a little bit of water to move it around a little bit more and make it look a little bit more seamless, and it worked. It just really bled through the back of the page, so I think it's turned out pretty cute. And then I took another one of my little dot stencils, and I just added some little cute little dots to fill in the background a little bit, but they're all super sweepy. Okay, I'll add Craft Time with Yaya's over here. So pretty. Yes, just so cute. We can't make bees look that much, like that different from each other, but yeah, adorable page. Craft Time with Yaya, and I will be doing this as a monthly buddy color. So we're going to start from the beginning of the book and just every month move through it, and it'll be a really fun book, and it'll fill up pretty quick. My goodness, I cannot talk. So thank you for the buddy color, and I'm looking forward to the next page that we do this month. Okay, next up is the mandala coloring book, and in the buddy color group, it's like a Disney buddy color group with oh my gosh, who else in there? I thought I had it written down. Coloring Bumblebee is one that I know for sure. Zoe, and there have been a bunch of new people who have joined. But our prompts this month, we have one Disney book and one Pixar, oh my gosh, one Disney movie, one Pixar movie that we do for each month. And it's just generated by a randomizer. And so this month, our Pixar movie was Soul. And our, oh gosh, our Disney movie was something else. I'll get to it when I get to it. So I decided to color this mandala page for the Soul, and I think it turned out super cute. This mandala book, it looks really overwhelming and tedious when you look at it like this, but once you get going, it's really not that bad. But I really appreciate having my lingual pins for this, because there are some teeny tiny lines, and I get pretty particular about making sure that everything's like nice and crisp, and having those pens in my collection really help. So there's that page. Next up, I completed a page in my baby stitch book, and I did this page. My daughter picked this page and said that she wanted to do it, and then she kind of lost her groove for coloring right now, so I just went ahead and colored it without her. I used I used my Crayola Super Tips on here, and then I think I went and used crayons again for the darker areas. And this is such a cute book, and I used some white acrylic paint for the little highlight areas. But so this is the second page that I finished in here, and super cute. The paper's really nice. On the first page that I did a lot of my Crayola Super Tips, and they worked really well. I used some of my gel pens, and I think next I'm going to give some alcohol marker a try. I guess I did the shadow is alcohol marker, but this paper tends to just really soak up alcohol markers, so if I do, it'll end up grabbing some of my like Temu alcohol markers, not my Lulu. Alright, next up is the Petite Poupée Mystery, and I did this page as a buddy color with the amazing Chelsea on Instagram. I will pop hers up here. And it always amazes me how these color by numbers still look different, like based on different people's supplies. So I know lots of people think that color by number isn't really coloring, but you can get some different outcomes and different color variations depending on the supplies that you have. And I don't worry too much about getting all of the colors perfect. I just use what I have and a color that's close enough. So this was a very fun buddy color. I love working in this book. This one and the portraits book are probably two of my favorites to work in every month. So thank you very much, Chelsea, for buddy coloring with me. Chelsea and I have some other buddy colors already lined up for next month. Next, I needed a little bit of a palette cleanser. So I did one of these Zen line pages. So the first one that I did, I just completed it with a black fine liner. This one, I used some of these pens that I got off Temu a while ago, and they're very, very fine nibbed. They're probably a 0.5, and it was fun to just grab two colors, and I used it and covered up the line work. And so this book doesn't have to be super boring where you just have black. Oh, and I see a spot that I missed. I hope this is the right color. So you could just like fill this up with lots of beautiful color and fill in the designs that way. But that was a fun page to do. A little bit of a palette cleanser because I did complete some pretty intense pages this month. All right, next up was Annie Day. And this is for the hashtag #ACAnnieDay. And this was my page. I paper pieced the couch with some scrapbook paper that I have. The rest was alcohol marker, and then I covered up the black line work on the wallpaper with my gold languo gel pen. Added some polka dots to her cup, and oh, I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be a teacup, and so there was a tea bag that was hanging over the side, and I'm not a tea drinker, so I used an acrylic marker and I covered that up, and then I added the dots over the acrylic marker. So that was a fun page to do, and I love doing all the Annie Day pages. Yeah, they're just so stinking cute. Next up is Matchstick Mouse, a springtime coloring book. This was a buddy color with Chelsea also. Oops, sorry. And we decided to do this cute little page where Matchstick is hugging on the baby chick. I will pop up Chelsea's over here. I love how she did her coloring of her little chick with the browns and yellows and made it really look like a chick. I believe she just uses alcohol markers on hers, and that's what I use on mine, just alcohol markers, and then I use some pink acrylic marker to go over the clouds and make them pink. But another super cute Morgan O'Brien page. Okay. Next up is Lulu's House of Wonder. And this also worked for the hashtag, the Lulu Mayo scavenger hunt hashtag for August, because it has bubbles in it. And this I did with Chelsea also. I got this book last month. I believe it was last month. And I talked Chelsea into finally pulling the trigger and getting it out of her Amazon cart and purchasing it so we could do buddy colors in it. But I will post Chelsea's picture up here. Chelsea primarily uses alcohol markers. If you follow her on her Instagram channel, she does buddy colors with almost everybody in the coloring community, it seems like. She's amazing, sweet, just lots of fun to get to know. So check out her Instagram channel. You won't be disappointed with the content that she shares on there. But we kind of went different on our color palettes and everything. I love her wallpaper in the background. I just love it. So thank you again, Chelsea. I'm glad I could enable you to buy this book and buddy color with me. For mine, I didn't use any alcohol markers. I used water-based markers. I'm pretty sure most of it was my Crayola Super Tip, and and then I think I used my Brute Funer colored pencils to go over top and add some shading and things in certain areas. I used a stencil for the background, and I also used a stencil for this. I wasn't sure at first when I looked at this page. I thought that the fish and the turtle were pictures, and then as I started coloring more, I realized that he was flying in front of this, along with all the other fish that are just kind of flying around. So I decided to make this like a window. So I made some clouds and the little bubbles, and I used some white acrylic paint to cover up the line work on the bubbles and make them look a little bit more bubbly. But yeah, it was so fun. And I felt super special. The Lulu Mayo Instagram actually featured this along with a couple other amazing artists. And the post said something about like it was some of her favorite colorings of this page in this book. So I felt pretty special, but I didn't do anything crazy awesome, I guess. There were a couple others that were in that post, and phenomenal. I mean, it didn't even look like they were coloring pages. They colored up, they covered all the line work. The shading that they did was just amazing. But as far as my first page being colored in this, I'm very happy with it. And I think, and then I completed this little page of Lulu, this little picture of Lulu on the front with colored pencils. And I added some of my gold languo gel pen on the letters where it was like whited out. And then I added little dots to all the ends of the letters in there. But I have another page picked out in that book for next month. All right, next up I have Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford, and this was for part of my challenge for last month on getting the title pages and everything done. And excuse me, I didn't quite get this one done last month, and I'm not sure if I want to add anything else to this side or if I just want it to leave it as is. I don't know. Let me know what you think. This was done with colored pencils. This side was Distress Oxide inks that I blended out, and then gold gel pen and a yellow, I think that's just a yellow, that's just a yellow colored pencil that I added for some of like a glowing effect that all of this is getting from the inside. And then I completed these two pages, And on these two pages, I used my Languo pens, the big ones, the Languo Plus ones that you have to push down in order to get any of the ink to come out. I was working with them last month to figure out, since I got the new and improved ones, how I would be able to utilize the original ones, and they work beautifully for like using as like a watercolor. And so that's what I use on these. I just took the pen, put a couple dots where I wanted the darkest color to be, used my water brush, pulled it out, and that was it. I didn't go in and add any sort of extra shading on any of the elements. I just let it be, and I was pretty happy with how it turned out. So if you have the original Languo Plus gel pens, they work really great on Johanna Basford's paper, and the colors are just super bright and vibrant. So then I think the next one I'm gonna do is this page, those two pages. All right, I worked in my Color by Number Flowers and Mandalas book, and I completed a couple pages in here. I just used my Crayola Super Tips. These pages are all just so beautiful, just so much color. I love it. It's an easy peasy book to work in. Alrighty. Okay guys, next up I finished a page in Mythomorphia. Last month I showed you that I finished these two pages, and these two pages I also used the Languo pens and just put a couple dots where I wanted the darker areas to be, and used my watercolor brush, pulled it out, and didn't add any other shading or anything. Alrighty, I had my husband pick the page that I did this month because I just couldn't decide. There are so many beautiful images in this book that I want to work on, and so my husband picked Sandman. I did pull up some some Pinterest inspiration pictures and kind of see what other people did. Originally, I thought about like a galaxy beard, but the more I talked to my husband, he was like, "No, I think you should just make it like a white or gray beard and do the background cool." So I did the background. Let me actually look at my notes because I finished these. I finished this one pretty early in the month. Let's see. I used Languo pens for all of the line work, and as far as the background, I used my acrylic paint pens for the black. It says that I used my Prismacolor, so I think I did a layer of a light gray Prismacolor on the background and maybe even on the skin. But yeah, the background, like the purple and the teal color, that was some of my Guangna acrylic markers that I put down and then I worked out with my water brush to kind of blend them in and give more of a kind of galaxy spacey look. But yeah, I'm not mad about it. I know that this page has been done, and it's just, yeah, it's hard to see people's work in these books and not try and compare and get overwhelmed. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, considering it's my first completed mythographic page. So, yes, there's that. Next up, I completed my first, this is Mythographic. This is Mythomorphia. So it was my first Kirby page that I finished. And I did finish my first page in a mythographic book for Wild Summer. And I believe this was also for a hashtag. Yeah, Mythographic Scavenger Hunt 2025. And the scavenger hunt prompts this month were summer drink, bubbles, bugs, and jewelry. So the page I picked was this polar bear page because it's sitting on a summer drink. Okay, again, I used my lingual pens to cover up the line work. I used a lot of my Prismacolor colored pencils, and I used white, my white acrylic marker to cover up the line work for the white for the ice. This was a lot of fun. Figuring out what I wanted my color palette to be was half the battle. And I'll pop up a picture of the inspiration pic that I found on Pinterest for this. I primarily used that to figure out where my shading needed to go on my ice cubes, because that's something that I knew would impact the image a lot if it wasn't done right. So I used that, and I'm very happy with the way that this page turned out. I love the way that the little polar bears look, and the color and kind of texture that I was able to get in the fur. And I think the ice cubes turned out pretty good too. So there's my first mythographic page. All right, next up is color by number animals. I completed a couple pages in here, and this is just a mix of some of my alcohol markers. I have a Kelly Art set of pastels, and then I throw in a couple of my Ohuhu markers. I was working on like all of these at the same time. I would just switch my paper. I'd use one color, go to the next one, use that color, and I was almost done. And then I had my page in between two pages, and this one, the giraffe, got a little messed up, but it's okay. And the wolf, and I believe this is the last one, the elephant. Then I completed this page in the 100 Quest Color by Number book. This book, I just try and use up some of my old supplies. So they're kind of streaky, and if I run out of a color, I just grab one that's close enough to it and try and just roll with it. But there's a completed page in that book. All right, last three are color by numbers in my big Disney books. Oh, Goofy Movie was the Disney book for our group. And so I completed this page for the Goofy Movie. I will say, so I did 2 images in this book, and it was my first time coloring in this book because I just got it. And I really like it. The color palettes aren't very big. They're very flat images, like you're not going to have a lot of tedious shadowing and coloring like that. And it's not a mystery. So you know what the image is going to look like. And I think this is a great book for beginners. And also what I like is that there's a picture from almost every movie in here. So I was able to do the Goofy prompt, and also the prompt for Soul. Yeah, so pretty. This is a very underrated movie. If you have not watched Soul, absolutely watch it. You'll love it. And actually, I had another. In the small portraits book, I did a page for Goofy also, and it's this cute little page. I used acrylic marker and gold acrylic marker, and for the shadowing I just used one of my gray water-based markers. But isn't that super cute? This book is probably one of my favorite books to color in, and I didn't have it in my completed book because I've already worked in it for September, and I had it over in my other pile. Okay, next up is from, I believe this is Dogs and Puppies or something like that, and I completed this page in June and wanted to do this one in July, but got it done in August. So now I have these side-by-side pictures completed. And all of this is with my acrylic markers. Alrighty, and last but not least is Vitro. I went through and this page bugged me. I did this page with my Crayola Super Tips. I was just trying a different medium in it to see if I would like it, and it just really bugged me. So I didn't count this as a completed page because it was already completed, but I did go over it with acrylic markers, and I'm much happier with the way that this looks now. So there's that page. And then for this month, I did this soul page. I'm really excited to work in Vitro 2 this month because, yeah, the pictures are gorgeous, and they already have all of the black line work laid out for you, where you don't have it in this book. You just have to, I'm just going to start doing it where I'm just adding it around the color blocks, because trying to match it to what the back image has, it's just going to be too much, especially if you're using acrylic markers and you're covering up the lines. Because yeah, I'm sure it would look better with some more line work in the back for this blue area, but I'm just not going to do it. So I've decided, and for his sweater, I'm sure it would look better if there were more lines in there, but it is what it is. Alright guys, that is it for my completed pages for August. I'm probably going to say my favorite page is going to be my Mythographic page, and then my Mythomorphia page, and I really love my Any Day page. So those would probably be my top 3 from August. Let me know what your favorite one is. That is it for now, and I will see you soon, and until next time, bye-bye.